السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صباح الخير جميعا، أهلا بكم في نيوكاسل مع وليد. معنا طبعا الأستاذ كريس من لندن، مشجع نيوكاسل وصحفي سابق. سوف نتكلم اليوم إن شاء الله عن أبرز ما جاءت به آخر الصحف من إنجلترا ومن السعودية بخصوص طبعا نادي نيوكاسل يونايتد. Welcome, lads and lasses, to our weekly show with amazing Chris. Welcome Chris.
السلام عليكم، كيف حالك؟
عليكم السلام، الحمد لله الأمور تمام. Personally, but for Newcastle, it's not so good. Not so good. So before we go into the latest with the newspaper, Chris, how you can describe our defeat with Liverpool?
Well, just it was that kind of day. I kid you not. So I'll give you a little story. So last night before I went to bed, I tuned into what were they showing on Sky Sports like late at night, and they were showing the final match of 2011-2012 when Manchester City won their first title under the new Abu Dhabi ownership, and guess who the referee was for the final match? Mike Dean.
Oh no!
that was sort of like, you know, thanks Mike Dean for Newcastle loss. Basically, that's how I felt. Obviously, I wasn't expecting a win. But I felt that he cost us 2 or 3 goals, you know, in terms of goals that happened because of him, including the you know, when we had two men down, Hayden holding his head, and Mike Dean later lied and said that he saw that he was holding his back, which is a lie. You know, he had plenty of time to see that goal. What happened with that is that the ball was played out of the box, and so they had to reset after Hayden went down. So he had plenty of time just to see that, you know. And then I thought it was really kind of childish from Trent Alexander-Arnold, where he said, "Oh, you know, we're not looking on the ground." I mean, what kind of comment is that? Like we don't notice when players go down. Come on.
Remember when I saw that scene in particular, I remember De Gea when Manchester United and Arsenal play. De Gea was on the floor and nobody cared, and Arsenal score.
Yes.
So I thought this is a new rule or something.
Yes. Well, I mean, what they're saying is, like, if the referee doesn't blow the whistle, then it's still live. And so he didn't blow the whistle. Of course, the other goal that was controversial was when he ran right in front of Shelvey, between Shelvey and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And people will say, "Oh well, Dubravka wouldn't have stopped the shot anyways." But Dubravka got a hand on it, even being blocked, and Shelvey probably could have closed Trent Alexander-Arnold down, and maybe block the shot himself. But Mike Dean, I've seen this, you know, ref this play 100 times, and he's not even that close. When he starts to run, he's not even that close to. He's trying to get in a better position, but, you know, as everyone has said, he could have just ran. Not ran backwards, because you wouldn't want to turn your head to the play till you want to see what's going on. But he could have run backwards while keeping his eyes on the pitch and gone towards the 18-yard box rather than right directly in the path of Shelvey and allowing Trent Alexander-Arnold freedom to score.
But Chris, he interfered with the play, and it could be called off or cancel the goal.
I've never seen that happen, and let alone for a referee like Mike Dean. He feels like he's God or something, you know.
Because if you notice, Dubravka, he touched the ball.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So
the ball, even being blocked.
Yes, and Mike Dean totally blocked the vision, totally, blocked the angle. So imagine if he wasn't there, it was a big possibility that he will be, if he's a second earlier for Dubravka to jump. If you see the ball, big chance to be.
Shelby could have closed on if Shelby wasn't blocked. He could have closed on Trent Alexander-Arnold and blocked that. So I just think it was a mess all around, and I feel like there should be a replay, but it's never going to happen. You know.
What about this one? Yeah, this one is ridiculous. It's complete. You can see Arnold. He pushed Fraser back by his hand, and there is full contact. And this is before Arnold touched the balls.
Yes,
touched the ball before.
It was
full contact by the thigh, by the leg. This is before he touched the ball.
Yeah,
Arnold. So this is plenty before he touched the ball as well.
It was just a travesty all around, and I don't think Mike Dean should referee, let alone Newcastle. I don't think he should referee another match this season.
Yeah, I read he's from Wales, something like called Wales, and close to Liverpool.
Yes, but he's from where Rafa Benitez lives, just across the Mersey.
Yeah, so this is should be.
Sons supposedly are season ticket holders. So you think that would just qualify him from being a referee?
No rule. There is no rule or something, or no rule for this.
I think there's just sort of common sense that there shouldn't be obvious conflicts of interest. So, but even saying that he's from there, he just was incompetent, and should have gone to VAR and stuff like that. But it just doesn't. He's like I said.
He pretended like he was talking to the VAR. They going to the VAR, but not wasting. They just by talking.
Oh God, I don't know. Yeah,
and I'm not just referring to this game in particular. All previous game, I can't say any benefit of the doubt. Definitely will not be for Newcastle side.
Yeah, no,
it's not a coincidence. I don't think there is a coincidence since the takeover.
Yes.
We didn't have taken either we are not getting our rights in the games, and even they are looking away from the mistakes could be in our direction, our side.
And then how long it took to confirm the penalty
on Norwich.
Yes.
Yeah, 5 minutes or 4 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not just saying this because I'm defeated, but I really, this is really noticed.
Yes, you have to be almost. I don't believe in conspiracies, but maybe
yes. We all watch games for many years for all competitions, and this seems really unfair.
Yes.
Anyway, hopefully this will change by anyway, and hopefully our signing will beat these mistakes.
Inshallah.
So what you have for us today?
Okay, let's we mentioned Mark Douglas before leaving the Chronicle and going to iNews, and he's written an interesting article, which I have conveniently pulled up so I can consult with this article.
Okay.
So basically, the bottom line is that we don't think that people like Coutinho or some big signings will be what Newcastle is looking for in this window. He says not time for the 100 million prima donnas. So it's like they are looking for players more like Tarkowski and Nathan Ake. solid players who have a good attitude, can come in and contribute to the squad and be a part of the team and not be about themselves, because we need everyone focused on the task at hand of staying up. I mean, that's our number one priority here, and it's not about individual glories of collecting goals or tackles or whatever, but we want players that understand the assignment, and not to use players like we have on our squad as examples, but less like ASM and more like Richie.
He said that?
No, I say that.
Okay,
In terms
that's
of
cool.
the attitude.
But this is really a brilliant article.
Because I think that Richie is the ultimate team player. He will play out of position because he loves the club. He loves playing for Howe. Whereas, ASM is kind of all about himself, doesn't pass, walks off the field, without after the matches or when he's been subbed out. And so he's a talented player, but we're not looking for more ASMs. We're looking for more kind of hard scrabble Matt Ritchie type players.
This is really brilliant article, Chris.
Yes.
And we're going to translate it now, but I just want to ask you about there is some view of, okay, he said Coutinho, for example,
he doesn't mention Coutinho.
okay.
I'm so the lines 100 million prima donna.
Okay. So you're saying he said that big names will not come to this market. The big names, but you need at least one big name to if this big name came and succeed, on a good succession for him, this will attract the class A players in the summer.
I know. I think it's just sort of saying like we can't focus on the brand. We have to focus on staying up now.
Yeah. طبعا هذه المقالة من مارك دوغلاس اللي انتقل حديثا إلى آي نيوز، منتقلة من صحيفة الكرونيكل. تحدث فيها يقول يتكلم عن إنه هذه تقريبا سوق الانتقالات الشتوية القادمة، ما راح المفروض إنه ما نركز على الأسماء الكبيرة، لا ما نبغى أسماء لاعبين يكون التركيز عليهم، نجيب مثلا لاعبين كبار شوي. مثال طبعا انه كريس يقول انه لم يذكر اسماء لاعبين، لكن كسبيل المثال كوتينهو مثلا، ما نبغى مثلا لاعب انه يكون الموضوع اضافه له اكثر ما تكون الاضافه للفريق، نبغى لاعبين برضو. على سبيل المثال توفاسكي، المدافع نيثن اكي من مانشستر سيتي، مدافعين جيدين، ولو انضم للفريق هذا راح يساعد الفريق اكثر ما انه مجرد لاعب انه مثلا ينتقل يصير كل التركيز عليه وعلى ايش يقدم. لا احنا الاضافه للفريق اكثر من الاضافه للاعب نفسه. مثلا مثال اخر برضو عن طريق كريس فقط، انه يقول لك حسب وجهه نظر كريس انه مثلا زي سانت ماكسيمان يكون لاعب نفسه مثلا شويه يكون في تركيز او خلينا نقول انانيه شوي. لا هذا الشيء نبغى اللاعبين اللي يكون اضافه للفريق بشكل عام. Brilliant. Next article, Chris.
Next article, Craig Hope.
I think we need Craig Hope. Sorry, Craig Hope. I thought Chris Hope. Craig Hope. No. Craig Hope من الديلي ميل، صحيفة الديلي ميل. There he is.
Okay, so I think I may have jumped the gun before, but he's saying in this window that there probably is going to be a Newcastle premium because a player's linked to Newcastle. He will command a higher price than he would if he's going to Burnley or Liverpool or some other club. but he's saying that basically this is time for the new owners to prove that they're committed to keeping Newcastle up. That means spending probably more than they're anticipating. We heard before about they want to be conservative and have like 50 million for each window, and let's spend slowly. But basically saying like, they need to pull out all the stops now. They need to. They'll probably pay more for players than they need to, but he says critically they can't afford not to pay top dollar for these players because they're desperately needing to improve the squad. Because Eddie Howe will say, his focus is getting the most out of the squad that he has, but clearly this squad is in this position. Probably if you restart the season, they might do well and be fine. But in the position that they are, only having one win in their first 17 matches, they need to be overhauled. We need to bring in 4 or 5 players, and we can't afford to sit pat on the players that we have. We need to desperately change over the lineup from center backs, fullbacks, midfield, and another striker. So he's not talking about specific targets, but he's just saying that richest owners in the world, great. We know all the PIS money is not going to be going towards Newcastle, but they need to spend more than they probably thought they were going to coming into the buying the club for the first window. You don't always get the best deals in the January transfer window, but Newcastle has no choice. They would less regret spending a lot of money and staying up than they will regret much more if they don't spend all the money. Spend a lot of money and then go down, and they said, well, what if we would have just spent a little more money here and there? They don't want to have the regrets. Rather have they won't have the regrets of going down and not spending enough. They'd rather just in this position spend too much money and stay up comfortably.
Okay, so it's like, to sum it up, if we pay less now, we will pay more later.
That's 100%.
اوكي. طبعا مقالة كريغ هوب من الديلي ميل تكلم فيها عن أهمية سوق الانتقالات الشتوية القادمة. أهمية سوق الانتقالات الشتوية القادمة، يعني صحيح أنه الحين كلنا يشوف أنه نيوكاسل هو النادي الممتاز والنادي البريميوم، يعني الجميع يمكن قد يحاول أنه يعلم، يعني للأسف يعلم مدى حاجة نيوكاسل للاعبين، ويعلم مدى الميزانية المتوفرة لنادي نيوكاسل حاليا. لكن في نهاية الأمر هذا شيء مجبر عليه الفريق. طبعا هذا وقت، يقول برضو يضيف أنه هذا وقت الملاك الجدد لإثبات اهتمامهم بالنادي، يعني اهتمامهم بالنادي. صعوبة في خيار الدفع، طبيعي أنك راح تدفع المبلغ الأقل. اوكي، طبيعي انك راح يعني تدفع اكثر، او يعني مو بالاكثر، يعني اكثر احتمال ممكن، يعني مش هتدفع اكثر طبعا من قيمة اللاعب بشكل كبير، بس انك يعني في طريق، يعني مضطر انك يعني تدفع للحصول على اللاعب المطلوب، يعني على الاقل السعر اللي يطلبه النادي على الاقل، يعني او مبلغ قريب له. يعني ما تقدر مثلا يعني تضيع وقت مثلا بتفاوض طويل مثلا على مبلغ بسيط على سبيل المثال في انقاص المبلغ المطلوب. وباختصار يعني لو نلخص هذا الموضوع، انه المقالة انه يعني تدفع الحين اكثر ما تدفع، يعني تدفع الحين اكثر ما تدفع اكثر بعدين، في حال انك دفعت يعني او حاولت انك تقنن مصروفك في هذه سوق الانتقالات الشتوية ولا سمح الله يصير فيه هبوط وراح تضطر بعدين تبيع لاعبين وتروح تدفع مبالغ أكبر والصعوبات هذه وخسارة الوقت. we lose a lot of things, so we need to really pay now this.
Yes.
And hopefully يعني what I want to tell you, Chris, it's not about how much we pay, as about we يعني there is saying in Arabic إنه الغالي ثمنه فيه. It's mean يعني يعني the expensive sometimes it's really deserve to be expensive. So we want to put the money on something really valuable, very beneficial for the team. So at that time, we're not gonna say it's expensive. He's expensive because he's really, you really paid for what you get for.
Yes, exactly.
Brilliant.
You know all of the English expressions too. So
actually, it's Arabic expression, but it's translated.
No. But I mean, when you said earlier that you pay less now, you'll pay more later. That's
exactly.
Yes.
Brilliant. So before we go to next article, Chris.
Kabir Mukhtar.
What?
Big brain.
Big brain. Okay.
Kabir.
So yeah, let's examine. There is a market value for player. Let's say we want Turvasky, for example. There is a price for the player in the market.
Yes.
So the club will ask more about this price, or they will ask the same price, or.
So I've seen for Tarkowski, I've seen anywhere from 7 million to 25 million, which is quite a range. So
okay, let's say. So you are saying the maximum is 25. So what if Newcastle came and say, here is your 25? You will ask for more?
No. I think, well, this is the question. Like, you know, some players have a release clause, and sort of the bargaining is to pay less than the release clause. Because if you pay the release clause, like I forget who it is, somebody has 25 million release clause, you pay that money and you have the player. They can't ask for more than the release clause. But I guess the sort of the negotiating is, okay, the release clause is 30 million, we'll give you 20. You know, and it's a question of, will the club take less than the release clause? Because the release clause is there for a reason. You know, it's sort of like, it's a no question, if you pay the release clause, then you get the player.
Yes, and especially how many months or year left in the contract as well.
Yes, because like so Tarkowski, I think, has 6 months left, but there's other players that we're looking at that have a contract. Like, I think Connor Cody has a contract through 2023. I'm not sure about some of the other players, but yes. So not everyone that we're going to go for will be out of contract. We just need them now, so we'll have to pay more because they still have time left on the contract. This is not something that works with us the other way. Like, we gave Dwight Gale a long contract. It doesn't mean that he's going to command more money to take him away.
Exactly. So سألت كريس إنه مثلا قيمة اللاعب مثلا 25 مليون مثلا زي تفرسكي الحد الأقصى له. يعني طيب هل النادي راح يطلب أكثر، راح يطلب أقل؟ الإشكالية اللي يقول كريس إنه عادة في اللاعب عقد اللي هو ما أدري كيف يقولون، اللي هي مثلا اللاعب شرط التنازل عن اللاعب مثلا مبلغ معين. طبعا هذا المبلغ معين مثلا 25 مليون، هذا شرط موجود علشان نتنازل لكم عن اللاعب فيه، تدفعونه طبعا. لكن في حالة لاعب ترفسكي مثلا باقي له 6 شهور، يعني بعد 6 شهور اللاعب راح يرحل مجانا، فمو منطقي مثلا إذا كان في مبلغ 25 مليون فطبيعي ينزل أقل، فهنا دائما الخلاف في التفاوض يكون عليه. Alright. Next article.
Okay. Who else do we have?
For me, I don't have actually this week.
No, I know.
Even my newspaper didn't publish mine. So.
Okay. Okay, so let's go with Kieran Kelly.
Kieran Kelly طبعا من
about Stevely likes sees what Newcastle need.
Okay. Kieran Kelly from the Chronicle طبعا. We have 2 articles for him actually today. Which one you want to start?
One that says Staveley sees what Newcastle need, Mike Dean's Liverpool explanation, and John Joe Shelby's apology.
Here it is.
Yes.
Go on.
So this is sort of Kelly. He does kind of a match recap of Liverpool, which we've already talked about. But he basically is saying that, okay, if you take Mike Dean mistakes out of the picture, Newcastle actually did pretty well against Liverpool, but it's not enough. They need they need to improve the squad in January. Like we said, all of our shows, they need to improve up through the spine of the club, of the lineup. They need center backs, they need midfield, they need another striker, because even if they put in the effort that they put in against Liverpool, set aside the refereeing mistakes by Mike Dean again, it's not going to be good enough to get the points that they need. So they need to improve the squad, and it probably means less playing time or saying goodbye to players like obviously there's Deadwood, and I don't think we're going to get money for like Jeff Hendricks and that kind of thing. But it's a question of that it should be pretty obvious to Staveley and Guendouzi, having seen the club play in person, most games, that despite the team's best efforts, it just needs to be improved, and we need sort of improvements all over the field, so it's a question of that. Again, it's sort of the theme of all these articles is that for all the money that they've already put into the club, to buy the club and to keep it running, which is another article which I haven't shared, is that maybe Staveley and others were surprised about how much money sort of Newcastle kind of running on a shell, and they needed some money just to kind of keep the team going behind the scenes, off the pitch. But they're going to have to spend a lot of money to improve the squad, and the money has to be spent this January. No excuses. And again, as we've said all along, if you pay less now, you pay more later, and the costs of not doing business now, and sort of trying to hold off for the summer when it's better deals to get in the summer, will cost us maybe relegation this season. So we need to spend maybe twice as much as maybe if they were thinking of 50 million, maybe 100 million is more realistic, and maybe more than that. But let's just say let's conservatively double the budget that they thought they were going to have to spend in this window.
Let's do a show, Chris, 1st of January, or the whole January. By title is Pay Less Now. You
pay more later, yeah.
Pay more later.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can make it as we are.
We should have your friend Kieran Maguire come back on.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I plan it too, and no, we can do it like small. We will figure it out how, but we are focusing on the player we get, and we can analyze the player. Is he deserve the requested amount or not? Yeah, we'll discuss about it later. before I translate this, what about Shelby apology?
John Joe Shelby apology. What is about his apology? He's basically saying that he knows that his cheap giveaway cost us a goal. You know, when he did the pass, the back pass that was intercepted.
Actually, yeah, by that he quit his day job, really.
You coming in with all the little questions. Right.
اوكي
I need to do more Arabic. Yeah.
اوكي طبعا هذه المقالة طبعا من كيران كيلي من الكرونيكل. تكلم فيها طبعا عن المباراة، يعني باختصار كذا موضوع منها طبعا أخطاء مايك دين، يعني واعتذار إذا كان هو برر يعني عن الأخطاء أو شرح يعني شرح أسباب اتخاذه لبعض القرارات، لكن بغض النظر عن أخطاء مايك دين، لاعبين نيوكاسل يقول أدوا أداء جيد لكن ليس كافي. تطوير اللاعبين هذا يعني متكرر في كل المقالات، انه مطلب في السوق الشتويه القادمه، ما في نقاش في هذا الموضوع. يعني يتكلم برضو على الميزانيه التي دفعت والمبالغ المحكمه والمصاريف الصفقه ويعني حدوث الصفقه والمبالغ ذي الكبيره اللي دفعت، يعني لازم تكمل على هذا الطريق لتحصل على المطلوب او اللي الجميع يتمناه، اللي هو طبعا فريق اقوى. وهذا الشيء لن يحدث الا اذا دفعت وجلت لاعبين يعني يعني يستاهلون المبالغ اللي راح تدفع فيهم علشان تنقذ الفريق وتطور شكل الفريق الحالي. يحتاج اللاعب، كلنا نعرف ان الفريق يحتاج الى يعني بالمعنى العام اللي يقول عمود فقري للفريق من قلبي دفاع ولاعب وسط ومهاجم ليستطيع يعني انقاذ نفسه بكل صراحه هذا الموسم. ايضا تكلم عن اعتذار انه في راح يضطرون نيوكاسل يعني توديع بعض اللاعبين زي دوايت جيل مثلا، جيف هندريك، يعني هذا طبعا ما اعتقد ان ذكرها، لكن في لاعبين اللي ما شاركوا في اي مباراه لفتره طويله طبيعي راح يغادرون الفريق. وايضا اعتذار شيلفي. طبعا شيلفي سجل هدف جميل جدا على فريقه السابق ليفربول، لكنه اعقبه بخطا سيء، يعني بتمريره كانت يعني this ridiculous pass from Shelby. يعني I don't know why he did that. يعني all Liverpool players was in our area. They're all in our area and they do very long pass behind his back. يعني he wasn't even looking to who was behind him. يعني مرة تمرير.
You switched the article to the second one. Okay.
Okay, sorry. يعني
for
me
it's fine. I can talk about that one next. Yeah.
يعني تمريرة غريبة جدا، يعني تمريرة غريبة جدا اللي سواها شيلفي, but maybe he was really under pressure anyway.
Yeah.
But we can't يعني this it's very hard for me to accept this apology because it was poor pass really.
Yeah.
All right.
So this the second Kieran Kelly article, which
second Kieran Kelly article here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, this is talking about how you know, Amanda Stavely has gotten her wish to take all of the Sports Direct signs down, and of course tomorrow will be the first match at St. James Park without 140, 150 signs around of the ugly St. James Sports Direct.
150.
100. They said 140, but I've seen 150 before.
Oh, you count them.
No. I've seen someone say that about 150. So about definitely more than 130. So in the mid 100s, mid 100. So I mentioned this earlier, sort of in passing, is that the parting gift that that Ashley has left, as they refer to in the art title, is basically saying that the 38 million that they had to pump into the club just for to keep it going was just the beginning, and that Mike Ashley left behind us a shell of a club off the field, off the pitch, and that across the board the club needs investments in management, in front office, in training facilities, recruiting. Everything has sort of been bare bones, as we would say. Run on a shoestring. Now you come up with your English expressions. I'm coming up with more. Basically, that Mike Ashley kind of ran Newcastle for the last 14 years, like on the minimum, and just to get into sort of what an average club has to spend, we have to Newcastle owners have to put in a lot more money just to fill out the club like a normal Premier League club would be, because it's sort of the training pitch has been compared to a League One training facility, and sort of he's run the rest of the club like a League One or Championship level club, and to get it back up to Premier League standards is going to cost a lot of money. But the good thing about that is that all the money that we put into improving the infrastructure of the club, that's not counting against financial fair play. Financial fair play is only about player salaries and transfer money. So the deep pockets of the owners can go towards improving, having to hire people just because people have been doing two jobs, or there's a department that should be 10 people and it's 2 people. So they have to spend the money to make Newcastle behind the scenes look and act like a Premier League club, and not the sort of Sports Direct cheap model. Again, sort of like it's the same thing that you said before. Mike Ashley paid less before, and now it's causing the new owners, Staveley and PIF and Jimmy Rubin, to have to pay more now just to have the club be and run like a normal, respectable club.
Brilliant, really brilliant article from كيرن كيلي. طبعا مقالة أخرى لكيرن كيلي يتحدث فيها عن يعني يقول لك طبعا الساين حقت سبور دايركت اللي شالوها من الملعب، اللوحات الإعلانية، يقول لك تقريبا يعني من 130 إلى 150 لوحة إعلانية كلها بس خاصة في سبور دايركت. يعني this سبور دايركت cover all the place. It's good that all left now, all being removed، كلها راحت، لكن قصده في العنوان انه لكن ما زال الاثر الكبير او الاثر السيء اللي تركه مايك اشلي ما زال مؤثر على النادي من بنية تحتية ونقص في الاستثمارات وما الى اخره. طبعا النادي ما شاء الله يعني شغال من اليوم الاول، ترتيب وتصليح الامور اللي تكسرت وتوسيع غرف اللاعبين، تطوير شامل للنادي. والحسن الحظ طبعا انه يعني المبالغ اللي راح تدفعها في تطوير هذه المنشآت والبنية التحتية وهذه الأمور ما تدخل في اللعب المالي النظيف. يعني أنت حر في أنك تدفع المبالغ اللي تبغاها في هذا الموضوع. للأسف مايك آشلي في أقسام مفروض يديرها على الأقل 10 أشخاص، يعني حاجة العمل 10 أشخاص، للأسف يحط تقريبا 2 شخص. هذا الشيء برضو ممكن يعني طبعا أكيد جالسين نيوكاسل الآن يشتغلون عليه، أنه إضافة العديد أو المزيد من الموظفين لإتمام العمل المطلوب. ايضا يعني نرجع برضه يضيف موضوع تطوير اللاعبين. نحتاج برضه نفس الكلام انه ندفع الان بعض يعني مبالغ نكمل يعني ندفع في قيمة اللاعبين الجدد عشان ما برضه ما ندخل في موضوع الهبوط وهذه الامور. يعني بعدين راح ندفع اكثر، يعني نفس الفكرة same thing pay less now or pay more later.
I have a question for you. And
yes, sure, go on.
They put the thing back up, the article that Kieran Kelly got.
Okay.
So it has gift gift in as a quote. And I think it means ironic, like it's not really a gift.
Yeah, I know. I already explained.
But my this is where I bring in my Arabic. Isn't the Arabic word for gift hibba? Because I have a friend named Hibba, and I know that her name means gift. But would you use the same word for gift in Arabic, or what word would you use to translate?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, gift could be hiba, but يعني mostly number one choice is هدية.
Hadir. Okay.
هدية.
Okay, hadia. Is it
هدية.
because hiba is more of a name, or is it because it just doesn't mean kind of the same gift?
It's called يعني I will put it an example. هدية is if I give you for example this cup, like this cup gift. Yeah, this gift يعني Dave, my friend, gave it to me. It's all Jordi word. He gave it to me. This is هدية. This is gift.
Yes.
And let's say if I'm gifted with some skill, this is gift. But usually we say hiba. Usually يعني and this is my opinion, I could be mistaken because this is pure Arabic, يعني deeply in Arabic.
Yes.
Hiba is something, let's say it's something from God.
Okay, yes, that's what I thought.
Yes.
That most of these names, Arabic names, are like religious names, and that you sort
of some guys name their daughters, for example, newborn daughters, like hiba.
Yes.
It's like something, a gift from God. So it's
yes,
hiba.
And because I'm Greek, and so I'll give you a good story from my family. So the Greek equivalent would be Theodora, so gift from God. Theo
yes.
means
but
God.
this is not necessarily any
I know,
you can use hiba.
But that's Theodora is a name. Is a name for a woman in Greek. And so when my family got our second dog, I wanted to name the dog Theodora, and my dad said, "No, we can't name the dog Theodora. That was my grandmother's name."
Okay. All right. For example, also if someone, some example, rich association or rich man give a foundation, charity foundation, big amount of financial, it's also could be saying hiba as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends sometimes in the place. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Welcome. Yeah. All right. So last article, Chris. Let's go on here.
Okay, what is the last?
I think it's your friend Chris Wolf. I think he's the much higher appearance in our show.
Yes,
Chris Wolf. Chris Wolf, George Calkin, and more.
Yes. Now Chris Wolf has been like on all the shows. We need to get him on this show. Our first.
Yeah, really, yeah. He deserved that. At the end of the season, highest appearance.
Yes. Okay. So the new hire. All this time we've been saying, where's the Wayne the sporting director? Wayne sporting director.
Yeah.
We'll have a guy who's filling the role, but he's understood to be a temporary temp. I don't know if you have the same word temp. We say temp is sort of like a person who's sort of filling the role, but not the permanent hire. So Nick Hammond, he was a former player in the English divisions. Was formerly the longtime director of football for Celtic, and then I think some other clubs in England, and so he's not the most exciting hire, but at least he gives you confidence that it'll not be up to Amanda Staveley and Godusi and Jimmy Rubin, who we've already said, all the other articles we've talked about this week in terms of how much work they have to do for the infrastructure of the club, just to keep the club running. They have their hands full already. They could have sign off on the players we bring in on the budget, but it shouldn't be up to Staveley and Gudusi to be sort of watching the YouTube videos of players and getting the scouting reports of different players. We need football people in there, and we'd heard early on that there was a guy, Frank McPartland, who was Rangers' former director of football, who was supposed to be advising Staveley, but we understand that he is no longer involved in the club and never actually got hired by the club, which sort of a strange thing there. But now we have Nick Hammond, but I think he's kind of known as Nicky. So let's say Nicky Hammond is supposedly going to be coming in there for this January transfer window to be the sort of the football mind, and maybe also being the guy that's actually going to negotiate the transfer deals, because again, Staveley and Gudusi shouldn't be the ones calling up Burnley for Tarkowski, calling up Atletico Madrid for Kieran Trippier. It should be a guy like Nicky Hammond, football guy who probably has the contacts, maybe he already knows people at different clubs, and is the football person that is going to be calling football person a football person. Because again, remember, we don't even have a CEO or a president. That's another hire besides director of football that Staveley and Gudusi are looking for. Supposedly they've done a executive search firm to get the director of football in and the president or CEO. But we need somebody like Nicky Hammond to come in, be the football knowledge person, as they say in the north of England. Nous means knowledge. Someone with football nous to be the one that's going to make the calls to bring the players in, because again, it shouldn't be Gudusi and Staveley. For all their talents, they've got other work to do, and leave the football to football people.
Chris, Nick is a candidate or just a rumor?
No, he's already with the club. I mean, all the different. These were George and Chris broke the story, but days ago. But he's already with the club. It's not a rumor, but it's.
He's not, been. You mean he's been interviewed? You mean?
No. He hired you. Have the job for 2 months or something like that. Let's say he's going to be
temporarily consultant.
Temporary, yes. Okay. For the next month. So he's not going to be
the manager director. No.
If that were happening, then you'd have Staveley and Gudusi doing a press conference, introduced. It's not going to be like that. He's already with the club.
I don't know why I missed this, but it's been broke up. When people know about this?
This week. So I think he was.
This week.
I think he was already at Liverpool at the Liverpool.
Yeah. So he okay. So why? That's why we didn't have a sport director now, because we already have someone temporarily.
Yeah, and I think we did on a previous show that they've hired an executive search firm.
Company, yes.
It'll take like 2 months.
But it wasn't a company. It was Nick Hammond.
No, Nick Hammond now. Company hire later. So whoever the company hires will be the permanent Nick Hammond. Unless he does a really amazing job, I don't think.
So you think he's
not a good job.
But so you think he picked some names ready now? You think?
Inshallah. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, we can't forget that Eddie Howe, when he interviewed, Eddie Howe had a list prepared of players that he thought he could bring in January. So they would start with that. But what I'm saying is that Nick Hammond will be the guy that will either make that list from Eddie Howe happen, because Eddie Howe's not going to make the calls, and we don't want Amanda Staveley on Gudusi to make the calls. It should be Nick Hammond making the calls. He's going to have his own players' ideas, but I think that what they'll start with is what the manager wants. To try to bring in Eddie Howe's list, and there could be overlaps between who Eddie Howe wanted, who Nick Hammond likes, and who Amanda Staveley and Gudusi sort of think would be good for the club.
alright. So هذه طبعا المقالة الأخيرة اللي عندنا اليوم لكريس وولف وجورج كالكن وآخرون من الأثليتيك. يتكلم فيها طبعا عن يعني الخبر الحصري اللي جابوه، يعني يتكلمون عن نيوكاسل انه عين نيك هاموند لاعب سابق كان مدير رياضي في سلتك، ونعتقد اظن في ليفربول في فتره ما، بسبب يعني الشغل الكثير في النادي، يعني الاماندا ومرداد وباقي الملاك والاداره عندهم شغل كثير، فجابوا او عينوا نيك هاموند عشان يكون مؤقت مستشار لفترة انتقالات الحرجة في الشهر، يعني مش مدير رياضي لكن يقوم بمقامه بمهامه. هذا خبر تقريبا من يومين. يعني متوقع انه يصير اوريدي صار في بينه وبين ايدي هاو تنسيق على الاسماء اللي ان شاء الله راح تجلب لنيوكاسل في السوق الشتوية القادمة. I'm surprised I just know about this and there is no much يعني it wasn't being talked about much in Twitter. Is it that right, Chris?
Because they don't know who he is, or they know he's not the permanent guy. So it's just a question of he's just going to be here for January.
Yeah. يعني متوقع انه ما تم الحديث عنه بشكل كبير لانه يعني مؤقتا، يعني بس لكن بالنسبه لي انه يعني امر كبير. Unfortunately, Chris, we have 5 minutes. We need to quick pass on the comment and talk about tomorrow game.
Okay.
So, quickly, Tom Dixon, Newcastle. Okay, 1-2. Southampton, Leeds. How many points?
Okay. 10. I don't know.
10. For me, 9. Bender. Hi, Bender. Hi. Good morning, Tom. Newcastle United are set to be without Jamal Lewis for the remainder of the festive period, while the fitness of Alan Saint-Maximin also concern ahead of visit Manchester City on Sunday.
Saint-Maximin has missed the last 3 Christmases, I think. He always is injured this time. Or takes
this is coincidence or someone else, something else.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning on. That's you. Chris, you're everywhere. Reports in Italy claim Newcastle United have lodged a bid on region. Yeah, I read this as well. Striker from Fiorentina, Dusan Vlahovic.
I'm going to read my comment next.
What does it mean? I don't know.
It means shite.
Okay, in polite way. Why, you didn't think so?
No, they're not going to spend 85 million pounds
in
January. Come on.
Okay. Morning, lads. Next time. Okay, that was nice. So tomorrow game, Chris, we see that Manchester City being rumored that Pep was COVID, but he's become negative. So يعني نفوا الخبر اللي انه مصاب جوارديولا، لكنه سيحضر للمباراة. طبعا إصابته طبعا لأنه يعني لم يصاب، يعني أخبار نتيجة سلبية لإصابته بالكوفيد. So sum up what you expect. Are we gonna يعني for me I believe Leicester make Eddie Howe understand not every game have to be, to play the same. You need to he play with tactics, need better player against Leicester City. He solved this in Liverpool game. So do you think tomorrow is going to be the same, even if you are playing with in your home?
So he rested Callum Wilson for most of the game, Liverpool game. He did bring him in at the end. So hopefully Callum Wilson will be arrested. But again, Callum Wilson is still on the 4 yellow cards. And so if he gets a yellow card tomorrow, he will miss Manchester United, which we don't want. So that's a worry there. I think they're hoping that he could just play on, and he's gotten the rest for most of the game this week, and that he won't get the yellow card during the festive period. We've had some strange results against Manchester City. We had one game. What was it last year when they recently retired Aguero scored 45 seconds into the game, and yet we managed to win the game 2-1. And fair play to Aguero, great player, had to retire because of his heart issue. So strange things have happened. I'm not going to predict a win. Let me just, I guess I'll be rash and predict a 1-1 draw, but I would expect us to lose. But maybe we can get a draw out of Liverpool. I mean, out of Manchester City. We should mention that Eddie Howe has sort of called the sort of ridiculous that half the matches are postponed this weekend and yet half the matches play on. There should be. I agree with Eddie Howe that they probably should shut the season down for now. Get through the holiday period and then start up again in the new year when we can do some transfers. But it is sort of ridiculous that Manchester United does have all the games canceled and then they'll come in fresh for us next week on the 27th, having not played a game in 2 weeks. And we can play Liverpool and Newcastle and Manchester City. So there should have been a yes, Dave, we will bring you on in the show.
I have to catch a Steve show.
Yeah. Okay. Talk to you.
So I want for me I expect I was expecting Liverpool, Manchester United, the Manchester City game. At least we'll get something from it. I don't think it's going to be 0. Thank you, Chris, for great articles choice selection today, and hopefully to see you. Not I'm gonna say next show. Hopefully to see you in next our show with Dave and the Wednesday.
Okay, I will do that.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
How is that? Have a good day.
Bye bye.